Another year has come and gone for the 3WideRacing League RaceKings Cup Series. At the beginning of the year, we sat down to bring you the first round of racing from Daytona. Months have passed and drivers have won, lost, celebrated, and crashed. One final race stands between one driver tonight and the 2019 RaceKings Cup Series trophy. A vacation? Absolutely not. A trip to Miami? Absolutely. Let's do Battle in the Panhandle, 133 laps that decide it all. Championship night in Homestead. Welcome to Sim TV. My name is Kyle Heyer, joined tonight by Finney and Dakuna, and Finney on 133 laps tonight, going to celebrate a champion at the end of the night, and we come in here with 4 drivers within 4 points. It's exceptionally close and going to be extremely entertaining tonight.
Indeed, and we don't go into the night, though, without some controversy after last week. We thought after the finish last week, just purely looking at the order, that Lightle would have a massive lead going to this round, but as you can see, Lytle's tied with Gruenberg. That's because the admins gave out a penalty to Tate Lightle, putting him pretty much tied with Gruenberg on purpose due to the crash at the end, altering the playoffs in such a way they deemed it as unsportsmanlike and put him back there.
Yeah, so essentially everyone's on this level playing field coming into this final race of the season. This is not a winner-take-all situation. This is a points racing situation. Laps led count. Most laps led counts for points. No halfway points to worry about. So other than that, it's just a straight-up race to the end. But it's going to matter where you're running tonight. Of course, let's take a look at our track conditions because it's relatively cloudy out here. 83 degrees track temp, Finney, and this is a very high-grip racetrack with this new high downforce, low power package. It's going to be kind of a drafting race. We saw outside of Racing League on Saturday, same sort of situation. The field never really got stretched out, so you're going to have to stay in the game mentally as well as physically to keep yourself in this group tonight.
Yeah, and it's going to be rough for these championship competitors because, again, considering everyone's on such equal footing, it's going to be hard to break away from the rest of the pack unless you're really preserving your tires and preserving it for the later part of the run.
Let's take a look at our track map tonight. Homestead-Miami Speedway, 1.5 miles. The big discussion all weekend, we've done this. This is the third time this week that we've done Homestead-Miami Speedway. The banking, 18 degrees on the bottom of the racetrack, 20 degrees at the top of the racetrack. A mile and a half around here. This is the third configuration. I was informed last night that there was actually a middle configuration that was built kind of like the Milwaukee Mile in between. It was only existed for a couple of years. But anyway, the high side is going to be a place where you can defend, but we've really seen the bottom of the racetrack be really the only place you can make a pass. So it's going to be an interesting dynamic tonight, especially with the higher grip racetrack with the lower temperature. We'll see how it pans out. Turn 4, though, Finian, the bottom of the racetrack, pretty hard to get any kind of grip down there.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of guys struggle with it. A lot of guys opting for the middle lane around the track. And I think we're going to see more or less of the same here tonight. We have the same, almost exact same conditions that we had in the Outsiders. Actually, I think the back it's cooler than it was in the Outsiders League. So we'll see these guys play around a little bit, see how that extra grip helps them out.
All right, let's head down. Qualifying is underway right now. Your playoff drivers lit up in blue on the left-hand side of the ticker. There are 6 of them left. Again, your point standings there on the far right of the screen. Couple drivers to take note of. Levi Zielinski, new sponsor on board this Ford Mustang this week. Number 1, sponsored by the Mark Martin Podcast. Cool to see that car and that livery out on the racetrack. So he's working his way through qualifying. Was extremely quick in practice. We'll see if he can put it up near the top of the board. And I think qualifying for the playoff contenders is going to be extremely important tonight. Don't let your opponents get out and lead laps early. Matt Gruenberg in the 54. I think we came into this season not really sure what would happen. We got about halfway through, and it looked like Matt Gruenberg and the 15 of Chad Frankenfield were really the 2 drivers to beat, and that was true up until a few weeks ago. Then the 56 of Tate Lightle jumped in the mix. He's won a handful of races this season, including last week. He's actually won 2 of the last 3 races, if I recall correctly. So he is on a mission right now. He's won 4 races this season. You see the win stickers above the B pillar there. Back at Phoenix Raceway at the beginning of the season, then Darlington, Rockingham, and then most recently Richmond last week. So he's on a bit of a high point. Of course, last week a little bit dramatic at the end. We're going to talk to him on the pace lap before the race as he goes quickest top of the board with a 30.692. And that is 173.465 miles an hour. So these cars, even though they got a lot less power than they used to have, they're still going around here pretty quick.
Yeah, indeed, they're really flying, and again, it's just really due to how much speed they're cutting through the corner. It's kind of hard to see in the camera. I don't think it does much justice. Well, it kind of does. they are carrying quite a bit more speed than they used to with the low downforce configuration.
So one driver that we really haven't talked about at all, a whole lot, and deserves to be talked about more, is Justin Kolb. Look at the points. He comes in here 1 point behind the leaders Gruenberg and Lightle. I don't think we expected him to be a championship contender earlier in the year, but he has found his way in, and through all the drama last week, got a top 5 result and put himself in position to win a championship. What would that would be huge for Justin Kolb, because I don't think, I mean, again, winless, or at least winless lately in this series, and in that number 52 Nintendo car, definitely good enough to maybe eke one out tonight, especially if the front couple drivers have problems, as Gruenberg goes second quickest, but Lightle still holds the top of the board for now. Chad Frankenfield. This has been a bit of a mess of a playoffs for him. Again, he's kind of got the Kyle Busch effect going on right now. Things are not going very well, but he had enough points to kind of carry him into the last round of the season and put him only 4 points back. So he's got to do a lot better than everybody else tonight if he wants to win this championship. But he is, I think, tied for the most wins this season, or just one shy of Matt Gruenberg's win total. So again, a driver that probably should have won the championship, but it's going to take a lot as he only qualifies 7th tonight.
Yeah, he got really lucky with the fact that he finished ahead of Matt Gruenberg only by 1 position last week at Richmond, and then with Lightle getting retracted 14 points, that even out the playing field for pretty much everyone in the championship. So again, really more or less it's the top 4 that have a shot, more so Lightle, Frankenfield, and Lightle, Gruenberg, and Kolb.
We're going to talk to Tate Lightle real quick before we get going. Sorry to rip you from your team channel there, Tate, but hope you're not strategizing or anything, but you've got a chance to win a championship tonight, coming on an equal ground, but you've been the hottest driver lately. You come in as a little bit of an underdog over the course of the season. What are your thoughts? What are your expectations and your plans to beat the other 2 cars, or the other 3 cars tonight? They're up there in the points.
I mean, it's really 4 because I think Frankenfield's only 4 back. So if he wins, someone have to do something special to still beat him in the championship. But yeah, just try to lead the most laps. Laps led are going to be huge, so just got to try to lead as many laps as we can and see where we end up.
Bottom of the racetrack, top of the racetrack temperature, how much is that going to affect the lines you run, and where do you think you're going to find yourself the first couple laps of this race?
You'll probably see me just above that first seam. I think it might be a little bit slower in the middle of the corner, but you can carry that speed down the straightaway, and as I'm sure you guys know, momentum is key in these things.
Would it be a disappointment tonight if you didn't win the championship, or will you be okay with a 2nd or 3rd this evening?
Thank you. I'll be disappointed. Anything worse than 2nd would really be disheartening. Oh. But after what happened last week, 2nd at worst. Hopefully I can beat Matt.
It's been quite a season, hasn't it? You know.
All right, Tate. Good luck out there tonight. Starting on pole for the number 56. We'll see you later. Good luck.
Thanks, guys.
All right, Tate Lightle about to roll off from the first position. Let's roll through our starting grid here tonight. On the front row, we've got Tate Lightle and Matt Gruenberg. Row number 2, Finian, a new number and a new driver for that number 1 car.
Yeah, we got Jordan McKeeboy in the 21 on the inside lane outside. Leo Isinski, as he said, with a new number 1, will be starting in 4th.
Justin Kolb, a playoff contender, 1 point back from the front 2 drivers in the number 52 from California, right alongside last night's winner, Chuck Sweeting, in his number 26.
And moving on back into 7th, we got Chad Frankenfield in the 15 from Pennsylvania on the inside. He's going to have a long ways to go to the front. And outside of him, I wasn't sure who that was.
We'll roll on back to row number 5, Richard Lafferty in the 8. James Miller in the 42 will be sharing row number 5.
Back at 11, we got the 75 of Frank Sims from Carolina, and outside him, Johnny Thomas in the 83 from Ohio will be starting in 12th.
He's a playoff contender, too far out of it to be a factor tonight. Dave Hunt in the 53, 13th, alongside Drew Eisenman, making a late season showing in the number 77 from Texas.
And back to 46 of Kyle Hansha, who will be starting in the inside lane, and 15th outside, and 16th will be Tanner Sharp in the 3 from the Midwest.
Couple more rows. Kevin Finn be starting in 17th. A few more drivers going to be tailing on to the end of the field. 20 drivers this evening as we head back to the front. It's the 56 at Tate Lightle on pole. He's got 4 wins this season. He's been the most successful driver, the most points earned lately. He is on a roll and he is on a mission. Can he take home the 2019 RaceKings Cup Series Championship? 133 laps tonight to decide it all, just shy of 200 miles. Green flag flies, championship racing at Homestead. Lightle gets away clear out of turn 2, goes to the middle of the back straightaway behind him. Couple drivers forming up, but look at Gruenberg with a great run to the outside lane, help from a teammate in the 21 of McKeeboy.
Yeah, and again, like Lightle was saying earlier, lap slide is going to be big here. It's nice to at least get one out of the way so far, but you're going to want to try to get the points for leading the most amount of laps as they come across the line.
Lightle. I think Lightle had it by a nose, and we'll confirm that here as the ticker at the top of the screen will tell you who it was at the line. I think it was Lightle by just a little bit. As Gruenberg rolls the outside lane, tries to build a run up there, but look, 2,000ths of a second. Tate Lightle picks up the bonus point, puts him in control of the championship for now. Gruenberg on the outside lane, trying to roll that up top. They haven't really been successful here early, but look, he's got a pretty good run up there right now, and Justin Kolb sits in third.
Oh, and Frankenfield in behind, he's involved in a wreck.
Oh no, the championship contender, Chad Frankenfield, is torn up on lap number 3, and he might have gotten away without too much damage.
But I saw him making some contact with someone down the straightaway.
Yeah, this is not what he needed to start his night. He was already on the outside looking in. He was 4 points back walking in, and he needed to really beat Lightle and Gruenberg and Kolb by a couple more than just a few spots. But
yeah, he was almost in a must-win scenario with the way these guys have been running. But
there's a look, and we'll see how it happened. Using that 15 Watkins Bun sponsored car, drifts up into McKeeboy, and then the 42 of Miller is the one that's going to get into him. And the 8 of Richard Lafferty took a big hit. Really nothing that anybody did wrong there. Miller was just trying to give him a shove, and Chuck Sweeting gets collected in it. Richard Lafferty probably got the worst of that whole deal. If you got a different opinion, but I mean, I don't know. Looked like just a racing deal to me.
Yeah, it's going to come off. Just quick to 21 here.
Yeah,
I would say probably the 42 shouldn't give a bump, but yeah, I can't really blame him for it.
Yeah, it's, I mean, definitely the crash was on the 42, but I don't think you could really put it on him. The 15 was already slowing down, so racing incident there. The 15 of Frankenfield already in a bad spot, dead last on the racetrack right now as we've got pit stops underway for a couple drivers. I'm shocked by this. I wouldn't think anybody would come in right now this early. We only had 2 fully full laps. Hanshaw and Finn stay out.
Well, we have seen these tires be pretty abrasive with this package, considering these guys going much faster to the corners. Tires are going to be wearing out at a much quicker rate, so I think they figured, might as well come get some fresh rubber.
So Hanshaw and Finn stay out on the racetrack, and everyone else comes in. So we're going to see early what the tire difference is, and maybe Hanshaw and Finn could learn something. Remember, Kevin Finn is one of the drivers in the playoffs, but again, he's way on the outside looking in, 15 points back from the lead.
Yeah, he's the furthest away. He really needs to hope everyone just bends it tonight, and he would have to then still win the race almost to take it away. So it's going to be a long shot for him.
So Chad Frankenfield didn't actually stop in his box, just rolled on through. And comes out in third. Matt Gruenberg is going to take over a spot from Tate Lightle in the pits. That's going to be an important position change. And again, these points will not update live. We're going to keep as much of a tab on it as we can. All we know right now is that Tate Lightle is currently your points leader, 1 point ahead of Matt Gruenberg as it runs. I'm actually going to go get a piece of paper and keep track of this.
I could just make a spreadsheet.
Okay, you do that. Oh, man. That's what I pay you for anyway. So Finian's going to keep a spreadsheet to keep everybody updated on the points as they run, but right now it's the 56 that has the nose ahead of Matt Gruenberg, Justin Kolb, and Chad Frankenfield. Now, Justin Kolb has been running very well lately, and he sits inside the top 5 right now. And again, maybe this is a driver that could play some strategy. Again, really wasn't considered a championship contender until just recently. So I think that if it's at the end of the race and I have a choice of coming to pit road or staying out and inheriting the lead, if I'm Justin Kolb, I'm throwing everything at the wall and hoping something sticks. Just not the race car. Don't throw that at the wall. But we'll see if Kolb runs a little bit better than he has most of the season, but let's see if he can get one at the very end here. So right now it's Lightle ahead of Gruenberg by 1 point, then Kolb tied with Gruenberg. Actually, excuse me, Lightle, then Gruenberg -1, then Kolb -2 from the lead. Frankfield -5. And Thomas -9. We'll read that to you again. We're just setting up a spreadsheet so we can keep you filled in, folks. So, first caution of the night on lap number 3 for a spinning number 15, James Miller, and the 26 of Chuck Sweeting, last night's winner in the Truck Series. He got a little bit of damage from that. So now what we're going to do is subtract 1 from everybody. So it's going to be -2 for Frankenfield, -5. Oh, I see what you're doing. Okay.
I'm just going to add them.
Okay, I got you. All right, so Finian's got, I should trust him more than I do. Anyway, so he's getting it set up on the back straightaway, setting up for the restart, lap number 8 here. We'll try this again. Maybe a green-white checkered later in the night. We saw that be a factor in the Outsider Racing League race. Late race cautions, always a possibility, especially with racing so close.
Yeah, we only have 1 attempt at it. So that'll be the end-all be-all, regardless of what happens with the 2 laps. That can be interesting if it comes down to it.
And I gotta quickly pull up this. Okay. Sorry about that. Just getting my race control thing up here. So the 42, we got the warning for the cause caution. No action on that. Coming back to the restart, lap number 8. Here we go. Green flag flies. Kyle Hanshaw on old tires. Gonna fire up and go.
Yeah, and a great restart for him and Tate Lightle. Finn just did not go going at all. Lytle's easily going to get past Finn, and I'll go to the inside of Hanshaw in turn 1.
Yeah, they get a Toyota teammate. Not a lot of help out there in the Toyota camp for Tate Lightle, but he's going to use that opportunity to get by Matt Gruenberg, and that was important because Gruenberg beat the 56 out of the pits, so a very important pass there for Gruenberg. Back to the bottom of the racetrack as Finn goes to the outside of the 56 as they battle through 3 and 4.
Yeah, and he's wasting no time to get to the front here. Again, needs a lap led. At least to get on equal footing with Lightle.
Lightle across the line will lead lap number 8. Kevin Finn in second. Gruenberg to third. Hanshaw dropping back. Kolb to the bottom of the racetrack for 4th. Experimenting different lines here. I don't know what's going to be best because we saw ORL on Saturday night. A lot hotter of a racetrack. I don't really know where the best place to be is right now. But look at Sam Close in the 5 diving to the bottom of the racetrack, trying to find some grip down there.
Really couldn't get a run. I think that outside is really going to be key, getting those runs out of the corners. See a lot of the guys getting single file, aiming for the higher lanes. Tate Lightle way up there. Gruenberg looking low.
Gruenberg looking low, and he's actually dragging the 52 of Kolb with him. So I think Kolb was just following the 54 right now, and if you're going to follow anybody to get some inspiration, that's the guy you definitely should follow.
Yeah, I think Kolb really for him is just going to be a matter of beating these guys in strategy. I don't think he's got the raw pace in it, so Gruenberg or Lightle. I think it's going to come down to potentially strategy if you can beat them in that department. That could potentially get the win here, get only 1 point behind.
Gruenberg dives to the bottom. He's going to pull even with Kevin Finn through 1 and 2. Not going to be able to clear him, though. This is a struggle we saw also last night in the trucks, is you could get alongside somebody on the bottom, but you couldn't clear them necessarily. You had to be really persistent to get it done. And he's going to launch off into 3, but turns 3 and 4 definitely doesn't seem like it's as good on the bottom as 1 and 2 is.
It definitely is not. Gruenberg got to fall back in line. He's hating this right now because he's just letting Lightle get off into the distance and further away.
And Lytle's just turned up. He's changed. Earlier in the season, he had a win back at Phoenix, but he was not what I would consider the best driver in the series. He has definitely been that in the last 5 or 6 weeks.
Has 4 wins this season for Tate Lightle, and 2 of which have come in the last 2 weeks, so if they make that 5 here tonight, he can get a win if he keeps his pace going.
And Johnny Thomas just makes a hard left in the bottom of the racetrack, trying to get by a Mustang and a Camry on the outside lane. That's Hanshaw. Remember, they tried the strategy on staying out on tires. That has not worked for the 46 car so far. It hasn't really been that big of a deal for Kevin Finn, who still rides in second, but he's got 3rd and 4th hounding him from behind.
Yeah, he's also boxed in too, because now he's got Kolb on to his inside, so he can't really go anywhere except into the wall or back out of this, and he doesn't want to do that. Get the run. He's continuing to try on Kevin Finn, but to no avail.
We got a decent run through 3 and 4 this time. Now, is he going to be able to use that side draft? Not quite. The 14 re-clears him on the straightaway. And you see behind, Kyle Hanshaw's got a bit of a mess behind him. That's Dave Hunt, Chuck Sweeting, and Drew Eisenman in the 77. Gruenberg almost clear of the 14, but look at Lightle, 1.5 seconds up the road and driving away. This is early domination by the 56, started on pole, and right now setting a fervent pace at the front of the field. No one's going to be able to catch him if they keep battling like this.
Yeah, I'm sure that Gruenberg knows that. I'm curious, once we see him get clear, if he's able to put enough pace down to get up there. You see you go 3 wide for a minute there, and you're going to continue going 3 wide through 1 and 2.
3 wide for second place. Ford Chevrolet from top to bottom, and Justin Kolb is launching himself into the mix. Now, maybe as a serious championship contender, if he can run as well as the 54, he definitely has a shot to win this tonight.
Yeah, I imagine Gruenberg right now hoping that one of these two sods off, but as he goes 3 wide, they're going to be still neck and neck at the line. Here comes Sam Close making this a 4-way battle.
4 cars battling for second. The 52 of Kolb and the 54 of Gruenberg almost got together in 3 and 4 inches between them, but the 54 re-clears and dives to the bottom of the racetrack, trying to finish off the 14 of Finn. He's not able to do it, and look at the run Kolb is building again, and Sam Close as well.
Yeah, lap car also up the head. I believe that's Richard Lafferty, 2 laps down.
Richard Lafferty in the 8 car, damaged early on that lap 3 collision with the 15 of Chad Frankenfield. And Gruenberg so close, going to slide up, and now he finally has a spot, clears the 14 for second.
The only problem, though, is that he has to get really kind of clear of these guys. As you can see, there's Kevin Finn back on the inside of Gruenberg. Although I would argue Gruenberg's got the better line through 1 and 2.
Yeah, he should be able to clear him on the back straight, but look at the 14 got a pretty decent run, but then just as the banking drops off, the 54 got a great launch down the back straightaway, but Finn still, even with them as they go off into 3, I think now this is where the 54 will get the advantage. Sam Close is able to pull even with the 52 on corner exit, should be able to clear Kolb here eventually, and he will. Sam Close showing up to party here late in the season.
Yeah, I know. We were talking about how his pace wasn't really the best in recent weeks. It's kind of dropped off the radar, and hopefully for next season he can turn it around, because some races he's really, really strong. You see him make a bold move on the 14 to Kevin Finn. Now moved himself up into 3rd.
Yeah, he committed there. He didn't care if the 14 was going to be there or not. He was going to put the race car there. Kolb's going to dive to the bottom of the racetrack, so this tire strategy, Finian, I think that tells us every single time that the caution comes out, you're coming for tires and fuel.
However, though, on a short run, it could potentially work out.
Yep, and we might see that be the case tonight. 52 dives for the white line again. He's been rolling that inside, and he's been pretty faithful to it so far. Haven't really seen him venture far from it, but Tate Lightle has just set sail. 1.8 seconds up the road, but Gruenberg is closing 0.2 faster the last time through.
Yeah, he's starting to pull away from that group and starting to catch 56. We'll check again next time through to see if he can keep up that pace, because I think that's going to be the part that's important. 32 flat for Lightle last time through, a 31.7.
Yeah, 0.3 quicker for the 54, so he's definitely found his pace and now set sights on that 56 in the lead. 3rd place, Close and Kolb, and Kolb again. He is showing that he is not going to sit here and run 3rd of these guys. He's going to go up there and contend, and he just got to get one more car and put him on podium right now. Not going to be able to clear the 5.
Yeah, Doyle's going to be important for Kolb to potentially get a lap lead as well, because
you're going to need to lead at least 1 lap to be in contention tonight.
Because we know Lytle's led a lap. Gruenberg actually, I don't believe Gruenberg's led a lap.
He has not led a lap so far. Oh, he has led laps. He didn't let him under yellow, I believe.
I had a dirty feeling he did.
Well, okay. He snuck through there and led a couple. So that's a good thing we have the graphic to check. But Tate Lightle has led 14. He has the point for most laps led right now, so that's going to be important to keep an eye on. He can clinch that if he leads at least 70 or 60 something laps. 67?
67, no, 68.
Yes. If he leads 68 laps, he will lock that point in. So far, he has led 15. Almost. Whoa! Look at this mess down into turn 1. How many cars he got here, Finian? 4 wide.
Yeah, almost 4 wide for a second. We're not done yet. Alejandro caught into this. Remember, he started in the front there.
Holy cow!
The tire strategy again not working out for him. He's been dropping back, but everyone else wants a spot. There's Race Clark on the inside.
This is why you got to focus on battles not in the lead. This was crazy here for a minute. Tanner Sharp up the middle, trying to find some pace. Hanshaw's dropped all the way back to 12th since the restart. And the 42 of Miller comes right across the nose of Hanshaw and clears himself. That is for 11th. Still 3 wide behind him. Chuck Sweeting, again, last night's winner, finally ending a long winless streak in the Truck Series for him. winner in the Cup Series this year.
Yeah, I think that's got a little bit of damage from that wreck on the front of his car.
Yeah, definitely that left front splitter. That's a very vital area to have intact. And look at the run he gets to the middle of the corner in turn 4. Maybe give a little bit of a push to the 46 Toyota of Kyle Hanshaw. Tanner Sharp drives right in on the door of him, though, kind of forces him up the racetrack. These guys are getting pretty racy back here. Sam Close, Justin Kolb continue to fight for third. And I think Kolb almost cleared him in entering turn 3, but the 5 was able to throttle back up around him.
Yeah, these two guys, neither of them backing down again. Kolb really can't afford to. He has to try to get past the 5 and catch back up to the 54. He needs to stay on the leader's pace.
Jumping back quickly to Hanshaw and Sweeting. This battle is finally beginning to fizzle out. Up back to the lead, though, Tate Lightle. His lead is dwindling. Gruenberg has closed it down to 0.5 of a second. And Gruenberg right now has second best lap of the race, 0.2 off. Or actually third best lap of the race. The next quickest driver is Justin Kolb in third, who has finally cleared Sam Close. That's a very important pass.
Can be understated the importance of clean air. We've seen Gruenberg, once he got some clean air, he was able to catch it to Lightle, but again, now the problem is he's got that clean air. He's going to lose it again as he's caught up to 56. It's going to be tough trying to get around him. He's going to be stuck in behind.
Frank Sims in the 75 getting a big shove from James Miller. That's Dave Hunt on the bottom of the racetrack off into 3. But the Jaws music is playing for the 56, and you can't let this freak you out here, Vinny. You got to stay composed. It's still early in the race. You know the 54 is coming. He's probably going to get by you here. But, I mean, are you going to let him by you? You're going to fight? Because I think this 56, I just say fight. I mean,
yeah, might as well fight.
You didn't walk in here early in the season thinking you'd be in this position. You might as well fight it off.
Yeah, and again, I think, too, the real thing, too, is if you can stay in the lead as long as you can, do it. Because between these two specifically, I think it's going to come down to not just leading a lap, it's going to come down to most laps led. So
right.
You can lead as many laps as you can now, or the lead goes back to that 54. You're going to make it easier for you to potentially get the lead back at that extra point.
Yeah, no one has officially clinched the most laps led, but the 56 has led more. So as of right now, the 56 still is leading the points by 1 over Matt Gruenberg. Justin Kolb is still a couple back at the moment. So here comes the 54 Gruenberg, and right now the 56 has led 21 laps. So it'll take Gruenberg another 19 laps led, now 20 to tie with the 56. So Tate Lightle was able to bury him early, and internet issues again for the 54. This hurt him last night. This could be huge implications if he can't figure this out.
Yeah, last night hurt him. Again, didn't have to worry about anything because he already clinched the championship. But here, if he gets told by the admins to drop to the end or something other, if he can't sort out these internet issues, that'll cost him the championship.
And don't look now, the 52 of Justin Kolb has actually been running some of the fastest laps on the racetrack the last time through. He is closing in on these front two again. I think he's got something tonight if we can get into a long green flag run. But Lightle and Gruenberg separated by 0.2 of a second. Now the challenge for Gruenberg comes finding an open lane, finding aerodynamic downforce to put on the nose of his car to get by this 56.
Yeah, this is the tough part. Whoa, Lightle just hit the wall in the straightaway.
Bumpy back there.
Oh yeah, it's going to be tough for Gruenberg to try to get by. I don't know if he can really do much more than this. You see him already drifting out towards the wall.
Cars around. Frank Sims in the 75 spun on the back straightaway. This will likely not bring out a caution. But Frank Sims in the 75 damaged here in a collision on the back straightaway. Let's see how it happened. And it was on the outside of Chuck Sweeting and Dave Hunt. And he just gets in the wall here. Got spooked by the 26, I think, and slowly slid down the racetrack. Almost had it saved and looped it around.
A very long spin, a very long fight for him to try to keep that car under control. Unfortunately, going to bring it down pit road, potentially either repair it or retire it.
Okay, I'm telling you, this 52 continues to close the gap. He's less than a second back from the 2 leaders now. Full 10th quicker than your leader Tate Lightle the last time by, just a couple hundreds quicker this time by. So really we're kind of having a bit of a stagnation at the front of the field because no one's able to make a move. Gruenberg just stuck in behind Lightle, but time is extremely important for the 54. He's got to get by this 56 because the more laps Tate Lightle leads, the harder it is for Gruenberg, or it will be for Gruenberg to clinch that most laps led point.
Yeah, and this is going to be tough because I honestly don't think he's going to have an opportunity to get by him on the track. If anything, it's going to be in the pits. And, you know, you got to outweigh, do I want to stay out, lead some laps to try to get more towards that most led, or do you just come in with the leaders and focus on the win? Because remember, the race winner gets 3 bonus points as well. So you got to wonder if you got to value that more than anything else.
Winning the race, actually winning races in general cures all. I mean, if you can win races, you're going to find yourself in a championship position, but I mean,
yeah.
I think tonight you're probably going to have to win the championship.
Yeah, definitely. I would say Frankenfield's in a must-win, unless because again those 3 bonus points, I would give him 4 bonus points. Sorry, 4 total points at a second, which would tie him potentially with Gruenberg or Lightle.
This is not going the way that he's definitely got damage. He's real slow, about 4/10 off the pace.
He's stuck back in 17th, 15 seconds behind.
This is not going the way that he wanted, and I don't think right now it doesn't look like he's going to be a championship contender. Gruenberg trying to find a way around Lightle, and still unable to do it, but he's getting closer, and so is Justin Kolb, just eking in a second back. And patience is the key for the 52 right now. I mean, I could see this race going green for a long time. It's relatively cool conditions, relatively easy to drive. But Gruenberg right on the bumper of the 56. Remember last week, the 56 drove in on the last lap on the white flag lap into turn 3 and wrecked the 54. Flat out dumped him. There was, for a little while, there was some hard feelings. I think they talked it out mostly as Chuck Sweeting is entering pit lane here. Scheduled stop, you think?
Could be.
30 laps in. Seems a little early for what I would expect, but maybe just trying to get a jump on it. And pit strategy going to be something to deal with tonight as well. Kolb 7/10 back as Gruenberg still stuck behind the 56.
You can visually see pretty much the underscare that the 454 of Gruenberg's doing, that the wind's been getting significantly closer every lap.
Here he goes.
Gonna have a look in turn 1 to the inside.
And just to get alongside Tate Lightle, to take away a line that he wants to run, that's a distraction for Tate Lightle. And for Gruenberg to get underneath him, that at least tells me that he's close enough and at least a little bit quicker. But Justin Kolb's going to reel these guys in. Big block by the 56 as he comes to pit lane. And that was a scary moment there for Matt Gruenberg.
I was curious if that was a block or not. I would be surprised if he was trying to block the inside going to 3 and 4. But yeah, so Lightle coming onto the pits early.
All right, so I want to go back and actually listen to Matt Gruenberg's throttle as he was behind Tate Lightle. Never lifted.
Just kept it in the gas. Figured, okay, I guess they're coming to pit road. Went to the outside in the exchange position. So
Lightle on down, and he's got to deal with a couple cars entering the pit lane.
And everyone's coming down on pit road.
Pretty short fuel runs tonight, about 30-something laps, 35 laps. Lightle is in nice and clean. Gruenberg and Kolb staying out. Now, Kolb still is quicker than the 54 right now, has reeled him in. So if I'm Justin Kolb, I continue to run and try to catch this 54 under green.
If anything, at least try to stay out longer than Gruenberg by at least a lap, get that lap led, come back down on pit road with everyone else.
Again, I think that's the 54's or 52's goal is just play the waiting game here, get a lap led, and then maybe try to pull the overcut. This race is going to go green. Get yourself a tire advantage. It will help you.
Gruenberg, and Kolb's going to stay out.
And Kolb will pick up a bonus point for leading a lap here as he comes on through. So that essentially puts us back where we were at the beginning of the race. Minus Frankenfield being 5 back from the lead instead of just 4. But as it stands, Frankenfield's going to be a lot further back just because of his running position at the moment. You see Frank Sims, he already came into pit lane after his collision on the back straightaway. You see the speed difference. But if I'm Kolb, I stay out a few more laps, get a bigger tire advantage, and then you can reel in the 54 and the 56 later in the run. I think this is a great idea. A good strategy call by Justin Kolb. This race is going by pretty quick, about 50 minutes left, 40 laps in of 133, about 200 miles here tonight. And Tate Lightle across the start-finish line as Matt Gruenberg is just leaving the box. So Tate's going to extend his lead by quite a bit here. Now the question is, how much will those tires be worth, and will the 54 be able to reel him back in? Because it's going to be a pretty large, sizable gap.
Yeah, well, regardless of that, Lightle will get that bonus point. So, again, I think that's going to be more important for him, at least in the short-term game, because if we can look at the laps led for the 56, it's quite a bit. So far, he's led 30.
Almost halfway there to what it would take to clinch that extra bonus point for leading the most laps.
Yeah, so another 38, and he'll clinch that number of laps, and again, should easily inherit the lead here. However, again, the problem is say Gruenberg and Lightle finish don't end up winning the race, but Gruenberg finishes ahead of Lightle, and Lightle has a bonus point for leading the most laps. They're going to be tied. Tiebreaker is going to go to Gruenberg with 7 wins. So,
oh boy, a lot to think about here. These drivers would probably just rather just race it out. They don't want to have to deal with all this points nonsense, but for Gruenberg, he's gonna. Oh, the 77 of Eisenman gets in the wall just a little bit as the 54 drives on by. Bit of a scary moment. And again, all these points are assuming that the drivers are all running in equal positions on the racetrack. Because as it stands, if the 56 is ahead of the 54, I mean, he controls his own destiny already and will win the race, or win the championship, rather. So, again, a lot of it's about track position as well, because all this points value assumes that all these drivers share the exact same position on the racetrack, which we know is not the case. So you see Justin Kolb still leading the race almost a lap down, but again, I love this call that he's doing, staying out a lot longer, about 40 laps. This is about 5 laps, 6 laps longer than Tate Lightle and Matt Gruenberg. I think he's coming down now, but he'll have really good tires for the rest of this run.
Yeah, I think there's these guys just trying to cut this race up into equal stints. I think they're planning on making this a 3-stop race from here on out.
I saw a lot of drivers in practice make a mistake onto this pit road entry. Again, it's a requirement to use this entry access road and the exit access road. If you run a little bit wide, you'll get yourself a penalty. That is the one of Levi Zielinski on pit lane. Again, a new sponsor, a new number for this driver.
Also showing no regards for the cone.
Yes, and damage from that early collision on lap number 3. Sam Close inherits the lead, and the number 5, Drew Eisenman, up to 2nd. And Justin Kolb still scored 3rd as he sits in the pit lane. There's Chad Frankenfield, and this is a really dire situation for him. This amazing season he had, 6 wins, could all go away in the next 50, 60 laps.
He's going to need the other leaders to run into trouble, and that's including, again, Lightle, Gruenberg, and Kolb. Because all 3 of them, the way they're running now, either one of them could win, but he needs all 3 of them to struggle. As Kolb's coming out of the pit, we'll see where he lines up. He's going to be in quite a bit of traffic from staying out so long.
This is going to be a big gap for him to make up. We'll see if it pays off in the end, though, as Close and Eisenman hit pit lane. Lytle's got a 3.3 second gap over Matt Gruenberg. And I guess the question is, Matt was able to close on him before without fresher tires. Now he even has fresher tires and that speed advantage. So what call do you think is better for Lightle? Do you think undercutting the whole race, or do you think he should try to get back on strategy?
I think maybe not go too crazy with the undercut. I guess really if you have this planned out, and as far as equaling out the amount of time you spend on the tires, I think really just stick with that. Because I think, again, Gruenberg has some fresher tires, but you have to imagine, by the time he gets to Lightle, they're going to be more or less around the same level, maybe slightly fresher, but I don't think anywhere near enough of a tire difference to make a pass easy.
The other important thing is that Tate Lightle has led 31 laps of this race, and by the time Gruenberg catches him, it'll probably be more like 40, 42 laps led. So he'll be within 20 laps of leading the most and gathering that extra bonus point, which will be immensely helpful come the end of the race here. So Justin Kolb is going to cycle out to 9th place. He's 11.6 seconds back from the leader. I don't know. I mean, I thought that overcut strategy would work really well. I'm not quite so positive after seeing that gap.
Yeah, it's going to be, you're going to have to see once these guys all equal out.
He had a great pit stop, too, at 13.9. That was 7/10 of a second faster than Tate Lightle.
If I was him, I would have just came in right after leading that lap, but he's got his own agenda, and we'll see if it does work. Again, not saying that it won't, but passing through the traffic, you gotta imagine it's using up your tires a little bit more, but he's navigating through it pretty well, it seems, from the timing screen.
And Gruenberg still 2.6 back from Tate Lightle. So still laps green. We've only had 1 caution so far in lap number 3. We've had 7 lead changes so far, most of those due to the green flag pit stop sequence. But Lightle 2.5 seconds up the road from Gruenberg, then Johnny Thomas 3rd. He is technically in this championship hunt now. It's going to take a lot of luck. Everyone needs to have the day that the 15 of Frankenfield is having for this to work out for Johnny Thomas, but he walked into the night 8 points back from the lead.
Yeah, it's not completely out of the picture, but he does need a lot of things to happen to some of the leaders ahead of him. Already took Frankenfield out of the picture. Now he needs Cove, Gruenberg, and Lightle to struggle, but which is looking a little bit less likely at this point as everyone's spread out.
Yeah, the 2018 Truck Series champion, and was dominant there last year. And this year in the Cup Series, had a pretty decent season. Not exactly the greatest season ever, but sits, in the playoffs coming into the last race. Got to be still pretty happy with that, all things said and done. For McKee boy Kevin Finn trading spots for 5th of 14 after all that tire strategy has worked his way back up into 5th after playing the no tire strategy on that early caution.
Looking back at Johnny Thomas's stats, actually, here's an interesting thing. He's finished second one time, and he's finished third 5 times.
Wow,
that's a lot of third place
thirds. Unfortunately, if he finished third in more races, he'd probably be a little bit closer to the championship contenders walking into this race. But that Carhartt Chevrolet JTR Camaro.
Yeah, and he's been fairly consistent. Other than Vegas, where he finished 27th, his lowest finish was 17th.
Yeah, I guess
not too bad.
It's not bad. The problem is that guys like Lightle and Gruenberg and Frankenfield had such spectacular seasons that finishing, 8th, 6th, 10th isn't going to do it for you. You got to get those race wins, and that's something that he wasn't able to capture this year. Race Clark in the 22, Dave Hunt in the 53. To think back to Michigan for Race Clark was just had a really fast race car there. Ended up getting involved in a collision on the back straightaway, and from there it really has been downhill for the 22. Hasn't been able to find his way back. Justin Kolb has gained 3 seconds on the leaders already, finishing 8.3 back now. Got a long way to go, so I don't know. This could work out better than we thought. I'm still a little skeptical.
Yeah, he is 8 seconds back, so still needs to bring that back down, but the traffic has not been a problem for 52.
Light's about to come on here as we head into the evening. It's really cloudy and humid here as well, almost stormy looking.
It is really dark out there.
Thankfully, no threat of rain, but
you can kind of tell what time it is, day it is, with the sun coming through the clouds. A nice golden sky.
So actually make that 4 playoff contenders inside the top 5. The lone driver that is not in the playoffs is about to lose 4th position. That's Chuck Sweeting, last night's winner. Ended a long winless streak in the Truck Series, dominating last night's event, and will lose 4th to Justin Kolb. Kolb is gaining almost a second a lap. It's flying right now. He could just lose a little bit less time. I think there's a sweet spot. I think he ran a little bit too long. I think you're right. I think maybe more than a lap overcut, but less than what he did.
Yeah.
Maybe 3 or 4 laps would be a sweet spot for that.
I imagine, too, around most of the other drivers are going to come at around lap 65. On lap 65-70, maybe.
So Tate Lightle is within 27 laps of clinching the most laps led tonight.
And you can see Gruenberg nowhere near him at the moment.
And Gruenberg's only led 4. But he's got some catching up to do, which means he'll have to be pretty dominant in the second half of the race to lock up that bonus point for leading the most laps. So really, Tate Lightle is putting himself at a big advantage already by the strong start and the strong qualifying effort that he had, and that restart especially with the 46 helping him out, and the 54 getting a little bit unlucky on the bottom lane, wasn't able to move forward, and that's what let Tate Lightle get such a big lead on the previous run, and has really led to all this lead that he has now. So Lytle's gotten a little lucky, but has also done a lot with it. Race Clark, Dave Hunt, they continue to fight for 9th.
Yeah, having a little bit of a scrap here. We saw Race Clark involved in that big cluster of drivers earlier in the run, where they're 3, almost 4 wide for a moment.
And Dave Hunt was able to clear the 22, but Race Clark says, nope, I'm going to dive back to the bottom of the racetrack. This is a very different looking race as we see a battle for 3rd going on between Justin Kolb and Johnny Thomas. Very different looking race than Saturday night's ORL Series race. Again, same cars, same track, almost the same time of day, but just different conditions.
Yeah.
And it's led to a very different looking race, a lot more spread out, a lot more strategical than we saw on Saturday.
And if you want to bring up, too, the graphic showing the track temp, the ORL guys running in temps over 100 degrees here. It's relatively cool. 84 degrees on the track.
Yeah,
so
it was over 110 degrees on Saturday night. It was 112 average for most of that night. Justin Kolb was now 5.9 back from Lightle and Gruenberg and continues his trek forward. Last time by was 3/10 quicker, so the advantage is starting to go away. But I still think he'll carry most of this advantage until the next pit stop. I just don't know if it'll really end up overcoming the deficit that he had before.
Yeah, wasn't I don't know. Did you keep an eye on the gap when he came in?
He was about 1 second back from the leaders when he came in.
Okay. So yeah, he's kind of looking at a loss at the moment, but it all matters really when it comes to at the end.
Yeah, still 3/4 quicker, 3/10 quicker than Gruenberg, 4/10 quicker than Lightle.
I'm curious if he's tempted to try to stretch it to maybe only 2 stops, but he only ran, I think, 40 laps on the last thing, right? More or less.
Well, I think it was a little bit more than 40 laps. That would still be a stretch. I wouldn't say it's impossible. I don't know if you'd have to do it.
Let's see, because we had that caution, and we got the restart around lap 6.
I don't know, he's coming pretty quick. Another 4/10 quicker lap that time, and still 3/10 quicker that time through. So he's still gaining 3.8 back. I think this is going to work out for him. I think he's going to blow right by these guys. I know it's going to slow down a little bit more, but he's really closing at a quick rate. Remember, he was 11 seconds back when he came out of the pits. Definitely the underdog. I said earlier that Tate Lightle was an underdog walking in, but Lytle's got 4 wins.
Yeah.
Justin Kolb does not.
Yeah, I was going to say, in comparison, I think Lytle's the underdog in comparison to Gruenberg and Frankenfield the season that they had, because they, between them both, they have 13 wins this season. In that respect, Lytle's the underdog. If anything, Justin Kolb's the underdog.
Yeah, so between Lightle, Gruenberg, and Frankenfield, they have 17 wins between them. That's a lot of wins.
Yeah, we've only run.
It's got to be
I think it's
20 something.
Proper number here.
22, 23, 24. They've won 3/4 of the season between those 3 drivers.
Yeah, because there's like the All-Star race that's involved. I'm trying to get that out.
Lightle still leads by 1.1 seconds over Matt Gruenberg. Justin Kolb 3 seconds back from Matt Gruenberg, 4.2 back from the lead.
Yeah, so out of 22 races, those 3 have won 17.
Wow.
So they're essentially the big 3.
Yeah, for sure. It always seems to work out that way, no matter what series it is. I think the only one that isn't really like that is really ORL.
Yeah.
Even Fuel. I mean, between
Just
Jeff
Alec.
Ward, Cohan, yeah, I mean, it really just is. It's just the big one. So Kolb 2.8 back from Gruenberg.
Yeah, definitely has.
He's making time, dude.
He is really making up a lot of time. Fortunately, I don't think he's going to get to these guys before they make their pit stops because we're coming up on them.
Yeah, but he's going to probably do this again and run it out to the end of the race or close to it. I like this strategy.
Only thing is, I think he needs to be really careful of when he makes the final pit stop because I think, again, taking into account how many laps are left in the race, you can definitely make it too.
This is a disastrous end of the season for Chad Frankenfield. Walked in to the playoffs with more wins than anybody else, and slowly but surely has given it all away.
And it was looking a lot more promising at the beginning of the run. When he got in that wreck, he was making a pass for 5th or 4th place. So he was making up some time from starting in, I believe, starting in 7th. So, but unfortunately, that early incident really cost him a lot.
He's about to go a lap down, which would really seal his fate and lock him out of a chance to win the championship. After winning 6 races this season, this is just a disastrous end. Matt Gruenberg has closed in less than a second from the lead, and Justin Kolb just out of the shot there, 2.3 back from catching Gruenberg. Nothing else really going on around the racetrack. Really, these top 3 are all converging together, and the question is, when do we see these guys hit pit lane again? And for Tate Lightle, Gruenberg, they're within 4 to 5 laps, I think, of making their second stop of the night.
Yeah, getting close to it, but we're definitely getting close to halfway. 2 laps from it.
And with that, take a look at Tate Lightle. Has led 51 laps. In about 15 laps, he'll clinch that most laps led bonus point and really put himself up on a pedestal above Matt Gruenberg and lock him out of that point. So Gruenberg will have to finish 2 spots better than him to win the race.
Actually, technically,
win the championship. Or 1, because it'll be a tiebreaker. Mm-hmm. And it would definitely go to the Gruenberg with his 7 wins. Johnny Thomas running 4th. We haven't talked a whole lot about him just a little bit earlier tonight, but having a good run. Kevin Finn as well in 5th. Jordan McKeevoy 6th. James Miller, a lot of spread out race cars right now.
Yeah, this is really just due to the wash that comes off of some of these cars. A lot of guys aren't able to overcome that.
Tanner Sharp, Dave Hunt. This is a battle for 9th right now. Saw a car leaving the pit road area.
It was Sweeting.
I think it was Chuck Sweeting, so I think we're starting to see him. Dave Hunt just hit pit lane. And Justin Kolb is now 1.5 back from Gruenberg within a couple laps. He's still 0.4 quicker a lap than these drivers here. I think he's discovered something. He had to do something different to win this championship. I think this is the different thing that he had to do. And I think, I'm not going to say he's going to win this championship, but I will say he's going to put up a fight.
Yeah, Gruenberg coming down into the pits before Lightle makes it on down. This is similar to what we saw in the last run. But yeah, so again, if Kolb can time this right, I think he can definitely find a sweet spot to where he can try to catch the leaders before the run's over when it comes down to it at the end of this race. But Gruenberg down, making his pit stop. When does Tate Lightle now come on through?
I think Lightle is going to have to hit pit lane relatively soon. He's so close to clinching the laps led, and here he is. He's going to come down right now. He's got to maintain this lead over the 54. If he lets Gruenberg get control of this race, there's no telling that he'll ever give it up.
Just Joe's gonna stay out, go around him. Joe will pick up the race. See him coming off of turn 4 there.
Impressive entry for Lightle. That's where he won the race at Rockingham, was on and off pit lane. So Kolb stays out, and he's only 21 laps into his run. I imagine he's going to stay out another 10 to 15 laps, and maybe he could try to go to the... He could probably go to the end.
That's what I'm thinking.
After one more stop.
It really depends on how much he stretches the fuel. That's going to come down to it. He's going to need to go at least 40 laps.
6, 8, well, he'll go to... He did at least... Oh, so he did 40 last time. That'll put him, if he pits there, to put him at lap 86. 86 to 100 is 14. Oh, that's asking a lot.
He's going to have to do over 40 then.
Yeah, by quite a margin as well. So I don't know if that's his strategy, but I hope that it is, because if that is his strategy, it will work. But if he has to pit a third time, I don't think this is going to work out for him.
Yeah, so coming up here, once we complete lap 73, it'll be 60 to go.
Well, look what happened. Gruenberg passed Tate Lightle. Very important moment here, and guess what? Gruenberg is got not only the lead away from Tate Lightle, but it's 2.5 seconds and just a 1 lap tire difference. I don't know if Lightle will be able to eat that back up. So Matt Gruenberg is going to take control of this race, and now he's going to start working up his laps led number.
Yeah, so where did actually Tate Lightle stop?
So Lightle...
53? No, laps led.
Oh, laps led. So Lightle stopped at 54 laps led.
Ironic.
So Gruenberg has led 4 laps. He's got to lead 50 more laps, and we don't have that many. We only have 60-something to go here. So he's got to lead most of the rest of the race.
He's on tight ship, and that could easily be overtaken if Lightle. You do have to make one more pit stop.
Actually, Justin Kolb has led more laps than Matt Gruenberg, so Kolb is actually closer. Yeah. And Kolb could lock out Gruenberg from winning that point.
Here's the big up now. I was just going to say, if he stayed out longer, I would have taken more laps from Gruenberg.
Yeah, so this tells me that Kolb is on a 3-stop strategy like everyone else is.
Yeah.
So I don't think that's going to work.
Yeah, this definitely wasn't as extreme of an overcut.
No, but he was getting close. I don't think he wanted to give up all that time all over again. Johnny Thomas leads the race, working lap number 74 of 133. Only 1 caution has slowed the progress tonight. 9 lead changes through all the green flag pit stops. The 1 caution was involving one of our championship contenders, Chad Frankenfield, who is desperately hoping to get some cautions and start having some carnage happen, because that's the only chance he's going to have at saving his championship run.
Yeah, here comes Gruenberg to pass him here, and that's putting... Gruenberg got a little bit of a flash, but Gruenberg gets around Frankenfield. And Frankel still has yet to come down pit road, if I'm not mistaken. For this stop as well. He's 31 laps into his run. Essentially, he's a lap down as Gruenberg gets around him.
And he's got to hope for caution quickly, because he right now is currently scored on the lead lap, but it's not going to be for too much longer. So closing in the final moments of this race, 31 minutes to go. Kevin Finn, we're past the halfway point now. And Kevin Finn in the 14 leads the race. Johnny Thomas has just hit pit lane. And Gruenberg and Chad Frankenfield separated by 2.5 seconds. But again, Chad's still gonna go another lap down. Tate Lightle lost some time through this sequence. That being said, if Gruenberg wins this race, he wins the championship. No ifs, ands, or buts. and he's put himself in a position to do just that.
Yeah, really, if any of the top three in points, Gruenberg, Lightle, or Cobb, if either of them win the race, it's automatically to them, regardless of where the others finish, with those extra 3 bonus points you get for winning.
Very dense air right now, very humid here at Homestead-Miami Speedway as the lights come on. The sun has gone down. You can't see it, though. So the lights are on, and the cars, they look like they pick up contrast as Kevin Finn hits pit lane in his number 14, and he'll slot into the box. He has actually, I believe, led a lap tonight.
Yeah. Still quite a bit of ways back from everyone else, but, you know, a lap couldn't hurt, especially if something, you never know what could happen in these races.
So Tate Lightle was 0.2 quicker than Gruenberg last time by, but it really has not reeled him in a whole lot. 2.5 back. And Lightle now has got some work for him. He let the 54 undercut him, and that one lap put the 54 out in front.
Yeah, and that was pretty decisive there for Gruenberg. So Lytle's going to need a half to undercut him regardless next time they come down into the pits.
Bit more of a gain that time for Lightle, 2.3 back from Gruenberg.
Yeah, I think we're pretty sure that he'll catch back up to him. But the only problem is, and we saw it too with Gruenberg catching Lightle, just couldn't get by him on the track.
So right now, Justin Kolb was lapping almost 0.7 of a second quicker than the drivers at the front of the field. Again, he's been playing the overcut strategy all night. He was on the outside looking in. Definitely an underdog tonight, and he's trying everything he can to get himself off sequence from the rest of these drivers. He has tried to, and he has done so. But now he's made his bet. He's got to lay in it now, whether or not it's a winning strategy.
He's currently around where he was. He's currently, I think, 9 seconds behind the leaders. So a little bit less of a gap. I think last gap was 11
seconds. Yep.
So theoretically,
he's only. No, he's actually only about 7.5 back from Lightle now.
Oh yeah, from Lightle. Yeah. From Gruenberg. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, from Gruenberg, I'll give you that. Sam Close leads the race now, and look, all these drivers in these long green flag sequences, they're taking away laps that Gruenberg could be leading. Now remember, he needs to lead 50 laps to overcome the laps that Tate Lightle has led for that bonus point. We're closing in very quickly on 50 to go, within 2 laps here.
So what? Actually, this is a curious thing. I'm curious what happens. What if they tie for the most laps led? You don't really see it, but I guess I'm guessing both get the point.
I actually have never considered that.
Right? You never do, because it almost never does happen. But
well, it's not going to happen unless Sam Close and Tanner Sharp both come down in the next lap and a half.
Yeah, I was going to say, he's really running out of laps, and that's even just talking about tying, so it might not look like he even might get that point.
And Justin Kolb, there's no way that, he's led 5 more laps than Gruenberg, but he's not going to get to the lead in that amount of time. So at the end of next lap, we can crown Tate Lightle as the driver that's led the most laps tonight. That'll give him an extra bonus point, but he still needs to keep that 54 from winning the race if he wants to have a chance at winning the championship.
Yeah.
If Gruenberg wins, it's game over.
Yeah, and I was going to say, too, the way they're running right now, if they were to finish in this exact order, Gruenberg would still win, breaking a tiebreaker.
Man, that is frustrating.
Yeah, it really is, considering it's a hard tiebreaker to beat. I mean, you know, man's run 7 races this season. That's hard. It's really, really hard to overcome. Lytle's only won 4.
All right, so 84, that means we have 50 laps to go, and that also means that, ooh, this could be really dicey. If Sam Close pits this time, well, Gruenberg has to lead every single lap, though. Actually, I don't know. No, this will be actually 49 to go, so he can't. He can't lead 54. He's led 4. This would be right now it's 50 to go. This will be 49, so he can't do it.
Actually, no, wouldn't this, because he's leading lap after lap. He's completing lap 84 in the lead, and if you that should add up to 50. So. But I think though when we get back to pit stops again, I don't think you should be able to.
He's led 5. There's 49 to go. That's 54 laps led if he were to go to the end. 54 laps led for Tate Lightle.
Yeah.
So we can't technically give Lightle the point yet.
Yeah, but I think with the way everyone's spread out in pits, I don't think he's going to be able to.
I don't think Gruenberg even has to worry about the points situation in terms of laps led if he just goes out and wins the thing.
Yeah.
And right now he's in position to do just that. Justin Kolb still closing almost a half a second a lap. There he is. 4.9 back from Lightle, 6.3 back from the lead. There's Richard Hines in the 2. He's just come down to pit lane, I believe, and he's got fresh tires, and now Kolb's got to just latch onto him, use a little bit of a draft here. Championship contenders, first, second, and third. Gruenberg, Lightle, Kolb. And Lightle has closed in, but the thing is, now they've kind of stagnated. 1.4 seconds between them, and they're running pretty much identical lap times now. So Lytle's really in a bad position to go run up there and take the lead away from Gruenberg. If he undercuts him, he'll get the lead back. I think that's really going to be the key. Who hits their the last pit stop first? Now, 87 laps to go. At 93 to go, you can make it to the end on fuel. So if I'm Tate Lightle, the second I can make it, I'm coming down for stop.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be big. I would say maybe probably not the exact moment you need to come down. I think maybe go a little bit further just with the tires.
Well, what's the risk that if Gruenberg comes on that lap, then undercuts you, then you lose time again? And I don't know, we haven't really been able to see anybody actually run down and pass the leaders on an overcut strategy. So I would say that you got to come down just to prevent Gruenberg from undercutting you. Or at least, I mean, okay, you can also see Gruenberg, maybe just follow him down, but then you're not getting any advantage. Actually, that time Gruenberg gains 1.5. Kolb still closing half a second a lap, 4 seconds back from Lightle, and 5.6 back from the lead.
Yeah, we expect to see the final round of pit stops within the next 5 to 10 laps.
And what does Justin Kolb do now? I mean, he didn't quite commit as much as he did on the first stop.
Yeah, I kind of think he really couldn't afford to, but we'll have to see. It's really going to be a matter of how much he's going to gain on this run.
Now remember, if Kolb wins the race, I'm fairly certain he'll win the championship as well. Caution!
Oh, never mind.
James Miller in the 42 crashed. Oh, I think this is over in turn number 3. And our second caution of the night, that changes everything. With 43 laps to go, everyone's going to pit. They should be able to save some fuel, make it to the end, no problem. It's going to be an all-out brawl to the end now. Wow.
Well, indeed.
That's going to make things a little different, I would say. Ooh.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought.
Yeah. I know exactly.
Never mind.
Well then.
You saw it.
There was a wreck. Two cars got collected.
The 15 had no incentive to not cause an accident. But the 42 also did kind of move over off the wall.
Yeah,
so
I was gonna say.
I'll give him the benefit of the doubt here.
We'll see. We'll see if the Evans do anything, because I would imagine they're gonna give someone the blame.
They crashed on a racetrack that's 8 lanes wide on the back straightaway. Yeah. I don't know how they're gonna take that.
And also, the 42 has a cause of caution already, so that might be night over for him. I'll have to see once race control gives out a penalty, but. Gruenberg down in the pits, and we should expect everyone else down here as well.
Yeah, this just changed a lot of things. And the 15 is currently a lap down, so he doesn't even really get a huge advantage from this unless he waves around. But maybe he could just take the wave around, and he hasn't. He's come into pit lane, so... man. Well, that changes a lot of stuff. And I don't really know who's got what now. I think this hurts the 52 and the 56 a little bit, because now there's just going to be an all-out speed race. And I think the 52 at least had a tire advantage he could try to execute. But we will be good on fuel from here to the end. So we won't have to stop unless we get our green-white checkered. But I think these guys will be able to save enough fuel to make that easy.
Yeah, race off pit road, nothing too terribly interesting. It's going to be Gruenberg, Litle, Kolb, Sweeting, People. They just about 5 on the pit road. Temple stayed out of the track. Imagine though he's going to come back in.
I also just remembered that the 42 and 15 were the 2 cars involved in the earlier collision.
Oh, you just noticed?
I wasn't. Didn't even remember that.
That's why I was laughing about it. Yeah.
Well. Okay.
That's why I was like, oh.
Well, all right. 15 under investigation for avoidable contact, Finian. Wow, that could be huge.
Well, honestly, I would argue with the damage after the damage he got, there's absolutely no way that he could have been back in this. So
under investigation for avoidable contact, and that's not typically a penalty we see, or an investigation that we see in this series. Typically we see just cause caution, but under investigation for an accident, that tells me the stewards are looking at that one with a magnifying glass, Finian. So we'll see. To the 15, he tried to help himself here, but maybe he ended up hurting himself even more. The Watkins Glen 15 Mustang rolls out 17th right now. He's just had a miserable day. And I don't even know if this is really going to do him any good, regardless.
It's not. I don't think it really is. If anything, you could try to hope for a caution, but he needs a whole long list of circumstances to happen.
Well, now, we have seen races like this. Once they get this caution late in the race, they kind of devolve into chaos. Remember Richmond Raceway a few weeks ago? That kind of got interesting towards the end, and I think that similar thing could happen here. And with one slip-up, the championship could go from easily being Gruenberg or Lightle or Kolb or whoever else to Johnny Thomas could sneak in here and take this away if something happens. We got our top 3 in the points, second, third, and fourth. Anything could happen to these guys. But as they stand, and now, so officially now, with Sam Close staying out, Tate Lightle has led the most laps tonight and will officially clinch the bonus point for most laps led.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's not going to do him a whole lot of good, because you would still need a finish ahead of Gruenberg regardless, because in the event of a tiebreaker, it will be going to Gruenberg.
Yeah.
But on the bright side, that's one less bonus point that Gruenberg can get.
All right, restart time. Close will take the bottom. Gruenberg up on top. This gives Tate Lightle the preferred groove here, and this gives Justin Kolb an opportunity to go around 3 wide up top. So this is going to be, again, this is where you start looking at this 2019 package and really wish that you had more power, because the outside lane would be a big advantage if you could get some power down. But because the short way around is the quickest way around on the restarts, I think the inside is the place to be. All right. Lap number 95 will be the restart. And it'll be about 39 laps to go. Predictions, Finian. Who you got winning this championship?
It's going to be really tough to tell. I think the 56.
Tate Lightle, Finian has. I'm gonna agree with you. I think the 56 gets this done. I think the 54 runs a good race, but I think this restart right now is going to be the most important part of this race.
Close staying out is going to make this really interesting on the restart here. Let's see how good of a start that 5 can get. It can help out the 56. He's riding behind the leader.
Coming back to the restart, 39 laps to go in the 3WideRacing League RaceKings Cup Series season. Green flag back in the air. Close gets a great launch.
And not as good for the 56, though. You see Gruenberg coming down in front of him to clear that spot.
Oh, he's going to get to the bottom. He's going to get to the bottom of the racetrack and get by Sam Close. And just like that, Gruenberg goes to the lead. Tate Lightle's got to build a run and get by the 54 quickly. Colvin behind, battling with Chuck Sweeting for fourth. Look at the run the 56 got. To the bottom of the racetrack he goes in turn 3.
Yeah, couldn't get a nose in there in time to make a pass, but is going to get clear of the 5 Sam Close. Now it's just him and Gruenberg up in the front.
Justin Kolb dealing with traffic behind, but it's between the two juggernauts of the late season. Gruenberg and Lightle nose to tail down into turn 1. Kolb dives to the white line to try to get by Close behind him. 2 wide for 5th. That's Jordan McKeevoy and Chuck Sweeting. Kolb tried to get clear of Close, couldn't come up the racetrack and do it.
Yeah, it was just a little bit short of doing so, but it is almost clear that 5 to potentially go up here and battle with those leaders.
Yeah, not going to be able to do it here either, because the bottom is going to slip. And Close will get a good run here. And now Jordan McKeevoy, does he split him 3 wide or does he help him forward? A big push, maybe to the back of the 52. No, he's going to go and slide up in the high side.
Trying to follow Sam Close on through, but still battling. Kolb still stuck on the bottom and going to get finally clear. Bit of a 5 with Sam Close.
Bit of a stack up in the mid-pack here between Johnny Thomas and Kevin Finn. And 52 clear and away and free. Can he run down the 2 juggernauts? Gruenberg and Lightle running away from the field. Sweeting almost up into the fence out of turn 4.
Yeah, well, we saw him do it earlier in the race. I think he should be able to do this time, but again, catching one thing, passing is another. That's going to be, I think, the tough spot for the 52. He's going to have to pass them at this point.
Oh, McKeevoy right on the bumper of Sam Close, maybe leaning on him just a little bit. Down the back straightaway, line astern, a freight train going by the 5. 2/10 of a second between the leaders. Tate Lightle is stuck, can't do anything right now. Behind him, a mid-pack battle, 2 wide for 4th.
Yeah, and really, you know, Lightle getting stuck back in this dirty air. He's not going to have another opportunity to out-pit the 54 of Gruenberg, so he's stuck with what he has now. He's going to have to try to pry it away.
Up front, 3/10 of a second between Gruenberg and Lightle. They rocket down the back straightaway. Justin Kolb was the second quickest driver last time through. The quickest was the leader.
Chuck Sweeney now down on the inside of St. Louis. Johnny Thomason behind him in 7th.
And some good battles in the mid-pack here. These guys finally enjoying some close racing after some long green flag runs. But the frustration at the bottom of the racetrack is setting in for some of these drivers. The only thing that's letting Sam Close get past on the top is the fact that he's got older tires than everybody else. He almost got up in the wall out of turn 2.
Thomas with aggressive clearing of the 5 of Sam Close, and then going to cut in front of the 14 Kevin Finn. He's being cut through in the midfield.
Up front, 4/10 of a second. Tate Lightle beginning to lose grasp on a championship. 33 laps to go for Matt Gruenberg. He's led. Not enough laps to clinch the most laps led tonight, but if he wins this race, it's game over. He will win the championship. Same thing for Lightle. If Lightle wins the race, the championship comes with it, as for Justin Kolb. So it's really the top 3 drivers. One of them is going to win this race, and one of them will win the championship. Too wide behind, Kevin Finn on the bottom. Sam Close continuing to drop spots, trying to play a strategy. It's not really working out that great for him. Meanwhile, Chad Frankenfield, after all the drama and the controversy, still 16th a lap down.
And you can see him slowly lose the field here, not really able to keep up with them on pace. He's just kind of riding around, just hoping that something bad happens up front.
Last time by, very close, only 600 separating Lightle and Gruenberg on lap time. What can Lightle do here, Finney? That's slipping away, he's losing ground. What can he do to gain time?
Honestly, I have nothing really. There isn't really much you can do back there. I think if anything, just really hope for a caution to come out, get them back on pit road. Maybe try to beat them before on pit road, but that's about it. He's out of options at this point. This dirty air is really a hard thing for these drivers to overcome. And it's, again, not like the old Homestead where you can just outrun the guy. He's stuck in a wall of air that he just cannot pass on these older tires.
Matt Gruenberg has won 7 races this season. Tate Lightle has won 4. The tiebreaker would go to the 54, but the tiebreaker is going to be a moot point if he wins the race.
Yeah, he gets those 3 extra bonus points for winning the race. And that's what makes it really winning, regardless of who it is for Gruenberg, Lightle, and Co.
Again, that time for Lightle, a couple hundredths, but you just got to nickel and dime him.
Yeah, if anything, he's got to just build up a really good run on the 54 and just try to send it into a corner. That's his best shot.
And right behind Justin Kolb, he's just waiting for these guys to get together. Drew Eisenman hits pit lane in the 77. Not exactly sure why that would be the case. But there is the gap. Your front 3. Lightle experimenting a little bit higher up the racetrack. Across the line this time. 31.662, 31.762. The quickest of the 3, Justin Kolb.
Yeah, and I think he's even going to start hitting that patch of dirty air as he's coming up within a half a second of Tate Lightle up in front.
A bubble. It's like a bubble that it's hard to get through, but we have seen drivers overcome it, though, so it's not out of the question for Lightle to try something. But what he can't keep doing is following the 54 in his tire tracks. He's got to try a different line, but it's so challenging when you don't have horsepower to put to the ground. Closing in on 20 laps to go. Matt Gruenberg, again, dominant this season. Right alongside of the early season, it was Chad Frankenfield that was blowing everybody out of the water. But then Gruenberg set fire in the playoffs, winning Talladega. That was a very important race for him to win at a time when he could have been eliminated that race, and he went out and won it. And then from then, Tate Lightle winning 2 of the last 3 races at Richmond and at Rockingham, has hit a stride late in the season, but needs another half second to contend for the win. Justin Kolb is still the quickest car on the racetrack.
Still making some inroads here. I'll be curious if he can get past 56 on Lightle. That would be an amazing feat. I think he's going to start facing the same problem the 56 is facing at the moment.
He's going to run out of time if he battles with the 56 for too long. I think these guys are going to have to work together a little bit, decide who's going to have the tire left to go catch Matt Gruenberg, because they both can't do it. Again, that time by all separated by less than 0.05 of a second, but it was still the 52, the quickest of the front three.
Yeah, and running a much tighter line on exit than the leaders. Every the other two guys running more towards the outside, towards the wall.
Top three walked in. The top three in the standings, Gruenberg, Lightle, Kolb, that was how they were separated. All three have led laps tonight. The 56 picked up a bonus point for leading the most laps. And as it stands, the 54 and 56 are dead tied in the points. But with the 54 in the lead position, those 3 bonus points for winning the race would make any tiebreaker a moot point, and Gruenberg would still win the tiebreaker if that were the case. Look at Kolb still gaining a full 10th quicker last time by than both the leaders. Does he have enough laps?
I think he's got enough laps, still over 20 laps to go. It's just a matter of how long he's going to take to get by Lightle. He's been making a good amount of time on the 56.
Still quicker.
Yeah. But now, again, this is going to be the hardest part to do. He's gotten with it really close to the 56 up to that bumper.
See, yeah, but look at the different line he's running. He's not following the 56. He's running in a different groove. He's got air on the nose, and he's able to close 1/10 behind Tate Lightle for second place. There's lap traffic up ahead. He's going to go to the bottom of the racetrack again. Here comes Justin Kolb for second. A late race underdog. He's going to have just over 20 to go catch Matt Gruenberg.
Yeah, just gets to the inside of the 56, and again, he's going to have to make this pass really quick if he wants to chase down Gruenberg. He can't afford to get caught side by side because they're both going to be losing time.
Yeah, he's got to get this done relatively quick. The 56 holds him down. A little bit of a slide there for the 56 as he tries to hold off Justin Kolb and take the line away, but they're both going to lose a ton of time from that on the back straightaway. Lightle not willing to give it up, but it could cost them both.
Yeah, well, I think for Lightle, he definitely knows that once the 52 gets on by, he's definitely out of it.
Oh, they're in the wall! The 56 scrapes the fence out of turn 4.
I think more even worse so than the 52.
I don't even think the 52 hit it. I didn't hear it. It was razor-thin margin there. Lap traffic for the 54. It's the 46 of Kyle Hanshaw. A Toyota teammate for the 56 of Lightle. Will that be any kind of help or savior for the 56? No. Hanshaw stays out wide.
Sure, 46 Hanshaw wants to kind of stay out of this as much as he can.
Losing time. 21 laps to go. Lightle, Kolb, second and third, and Gruenberg now stretching the gap out to 0.8 of a second. .56 trying to get clear. There's Corey Lindsay on the bottom of the racetrack. I don't know if he just spun out or what. But he's on the bottom and just... I don't know if he's got power.
I don't think he does.
Just rolling real slow down the back straightaway. Not sure what that's all about, but we will stay green, I believe.
Yeah, should be able to get it on the apron, so we're all good in that department. I'm sure Lightle's hoping that he would just stop on the track, but unfortunately we're going to remain green here.
20 laps to go for Matt Gruenberg. If he wins the race, he wins the championship. Kolb trying to get by the 56. But with the 56 holding him down, that pretty much stalled all the momentum that the 52 had going forward.
He's trying to build that run back up. I think he's faster than Lightle, but
he's faster than both.
Yeah.
But he needs to get by. I mean, it's so difficult to pass. 19 to go.
Yeah, Lytle's definitely not letting him by anytime soon. Can't afford to let him.
No, but I think Kolb's going to have to use the bumper here and stop playing nice guy. I mean, we saw last week the 56 was not afraid to use the bumper, went in there planning on using the bumper, and he used it. Kolb not exactly known for being a super aggressive driver when it comes to using the fenders, but he's going to have to. Dives back to the bottom of the racetrack. 1 second back from Gruenberg. They're running out of time. 18 to go this time by, and Kolb closes in.
He's been making some really good strides, especially in turn 3. We'll see. Not going to have enough of a run by turn 1, but he can try to use this to build up for the back straightaway. Now going to the high lane.
Desperately trying anything he can. 1.1 seconds up to Gruenberg. Kolb just is wishing and praying and hoping for the racing gods to give him all the power back in his Chevrolet Camaro.
Yeah, if only. Yeah, I'm sure he's wishing he had 900 horsepower. Unfortunately, he's stuck with what he's got.
17 laps to go. 9 minutes left in this race. I think 1.2 seconds is an astronomical hurdle to climb here.
He's going to need a miracle. He's going to need a hope for Gruenberg to make a mistake.
Dive up the inside for 3. Can he make it there? He will. Will he lead on the 56? He's going to drive up the racetrack? No, he'll stay off the bumper.
Yeah, he couldn't really afford it. He was going to get really, really tight in 3 if he couldn't get on by. It was an attempt made, but still going to be behind.
Yeah, and every time he goes to the bottom to try to get by, he loses time more. Gruenberg just setting easy laps out front. And Tate Lightle is just holding back the 52. The 52 was the quickest car this run, but he can't do anything with it. Lytle's defense is the best offense for Matt Gruenberg right now.
Yeah, and again, he's happy that both these guys are slowing each other up. Really, for him, he's just got to hope that a caution doesn't come out, because that's going to put another...
See, if I'm Lytle, I think this is a huge mistake by Tate Lightle, Finian. He should have let the 52 go up there and battle the 54. They would have fought, and it would have brought the 56 right back into the fight. I think this is a short-term gain, long-term loss for Tate Lightle.
I think even regardless if the 52 went up and fought, I think it would have been over for him. So I think he's just kind of keeping the 52. At least he gets some myriad of hope.
14 laps to go. Kolb right behind, unable to do anything with Tate Lightle. Drives in deep into turn 1. The 56 is holding him down, Finney, and 52's got to get his elbows out and quick.
Yeah, the problem is I don't even think he can really get close enough to put his elbows out.
And there's the 46 of Hanshaw returning to the racetrack. And again, the 52 was the quickest car last time by. 13 to go.
Here comes Kyle Hanshaw back with some fresh tires.
Yeah, actually, this could kind of play a factor here, the 46.
Here we go, dive yet again.
It's just, he's going to do this 100 times, and it's never going to work doing that.
He actually got a little bit of a run here, but Lytle's going to make that all back on exit.
Oh, he's a little closer this time. Off into 3. Oh, he's going to clip the apron, kill that run as well. Gruenberg is gone. 1.6 seconds up the road. Lightle just said, if I can't win it, nobody will.
Yeah.
And this is so frustrating for Justin Kolb, because he definitely was fast enough to go catch Gruenberg, but this package will just doesn't let you pass.
Yeah.
And it's so frustrating to watch, because the drivers are being held back by the race car spinning, and we know Kolb could have made this a huge upset this season.
Oh, here he goes.
Big dive, but he's
clips the apron. That's
not going to do it.
The track. Ooh, almost clips Lightle in the process.
Yeah, I'm sure the blood pressure and heart rate for the 52 through the roof right now. Frustration mounting. And they've lost almost 2 seconds to the 54. They lost 3/10 that last lap.
They're only going to lose really more. You see, they haven't really, the pack actually, I think he's kind of starting to close back in on them.
Yeah, the 56, I don't know if he's I think he's overdriving trying to hold the Kolb back. And it's really costing everybody. 10 laps to go for Matt Gruenberg. 7 wins this season. Could it be an 8th? Behind him, Tate Lightle and Justin Kolb in a spat for 2nd place and unable to do anything with it. This is a good run here. But he's going to need to use a bumper. You can't play nice guy. There's no way that you're ever going to make this pass cleanly.
Yeah, looking off the bumper of the 52. Sam Close is starting to appear in the picture as well, so he might...
Whoa, hello.
Yeah.
There he goes.
Never mind. He's just going to rock it by around.
Yeah, 9 to go. This race is over right now. It's Gruenberg just is gone. I mean, unless there's a caution, they can't do anything with it. Great run through the center of 1 and 2 for Kolb. He's close. He's alongside for 2nd. Justin Kolb finally gets a run on the 56. Drive in deep. Use him up, Justin. He can't play chicken any longer. You got to finish the job.
Well, let's see. He's going to throttle up on exit. Going to try to hold the 56 at bay. Lytle's going to get a massive run out of the corner and still going to be side by side in the front straightaway. Can he clear him into one, though?
Yeah, really, this is just a battle for second now, but he's not going to get it done for the win, at least. He might be able to clear the 56, but it'll be game over for the lead. And Kolb launches off into 3, trying to get clear. He's not going to do it. And here comes Kyle Hanshaw back.
Whoa.
3, whoa! Comes over on the nose. They almost
almost
get together on the front straightaway. Kolb finally showing some elbows here. Down into turn 1. Does he clear the 56? Finally, he does. But the damage is already done. 2.2 seconds back, and Gruenberg is gone. Yeah, that was not. I don't think that was smart racecraft by Tate Lightle. I still think that he would have stood a better chance of winning this championship had the 52 gotten by 15 laps ago.
Well, I think in Lytle's eyes, it's a competitor. And
Oh, absolutely. I don't blame him. I just think it's silly. I mean, he would have stood a better chance. I think he's a smart enough guy to know that. But the pride's a little strong with the 56 this week, I think. You really wanted to hold on to that second and have a shot to go run down Gruenberg, but no one was going to. But as I say that, I mean, you know, the frustrating thing is Kolb last time was quicker by 1/10.5. So he's still gaining time, but he's going to run out of laps. Jordan McKeeboy, Kevin Finn, 4th and 5th. 5 laps to go for Matt Gruenberg. Kolb closing, another 10th game there.
He's going to have to hope for a caution to bring everyone back together, otherwise he's got 0 shot.
The 46, a hand shot. Could he help or hurt this 52 right now? I mean, it's really not going to matter a whole lot in the grand scheme of things. Behind him, battle for 4th. This could bring out a yellow if these two get together, and that would change a whole lot of things.
We're trying to rocket around the outside, and we'll get that spot over Kevin Finn there. You see now Hanshaw actually being a factor, forcing Kolb to go to the inside up ahead.
Yeah, Kolb actually lost some time with that, and he's going to push up the racetrack here as well. Now he's got lap car dirty air in the way now. Game over for Matt Gruenberg, though. 7 wins this season, dominant, and can't say he didn't deserve it. Drove his heart out tonight. Wasn't the best car for most of the race, but here he is with 3 laps to go, about ready to clinch himself the 2019 RaceKings Cup Series championship.
All he's just waiting to see is that white flag in the air. Once he sees that white flag, it's all said and done.
These two. These two could prevent that from happening.
Or even behind them, Sweeting, as well, dealing with Frank Sims.
Finn popping out a line to the inside of the 21.
The wreck here, this could be big.
I don't know what Justin Kolb just did, but he just gained a half a second on Matt Gruenberg. It's too little too late, but that just goes to show you how much faster he was on this run.
Yeah. Only thing I think still, even if he got to Gruenberg, I don't think he would have had much for him.
No, and that's
which is the frustrating thing with this package too. You can be fast as hell, but
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how fast you are. You got to play the games on the restarts, and Gruenberg got a spectacular restart last time. This will be it. If these two don't crash, we'll be good to the end. Coming back to the white flag for Matt Gruenberg. It's been an entire season from start to finish. At times, he didn't look like the best car this season, but he has finally found his groove. 7 wins this season, a win at Talladega in the middle of the playoffs when he was about to be eliminated. This is going to be it for Matt Gruenberg. Justin Kolb gained 1 point, or he's back only 1 second now. He gained a full second in the last lap, but can't do anything about it for Matt Gruenberg. A full season of racing coming down to the last race after leading at Richmond only to be wrecked in the final corner. Checkered flag waves, championship trophy time for Matt Gruenberg. Kolb closing. Is Gruenberg slowing down at the start-finish line across the line? And look at that behind him, chaos as they cross. Almost gave that one away there, Finian. 1/10 of a second was the official win margin.
Is he? No, he can't be. Is he out of gas?
Nope. He just slowed up, I think. There's no way. Is he out of gas? Maybe he was out of gas. I mean, I don't believe that, but I mean that was too close.
Unless he's just clutching it to save extra for the burnout.
Either way, doesn't matter. Champion.
Because he slowed up a lot at the line, and that was almost concerning.
Yeah. Matt Gruenberg, your 2019 RaceKings Cup Series champion, Justin Kolb. And 54 did run out of fuel. It looks like he might be out here, Finian. If that tells me...
Ran out at the line.
I mean...
That's...
It's possible.
Which is why I think that might have been why we saw the gap diminish so much.
Well, yes, because he was probably trying to save, but that begs the question, if Justin Kolb had gotten around Tate Lightle a lap earlier, he would be your champion. That was it. He's out of fuel, Finian. He's got no gas left. I didn't know they were that close.
Yeah, it didn't seem like the rest of them were. Kind of surprised that he ran out of gas.
Well, he was out front. No draft, no nothing. Again, we hadn't seen anybody go that long on fuel. 41 laps. And his car is... It's shut off. I mean, he's got no fuel.
Oh.
Wow.
A little bit of a lackluster celebration.
Yeah, all right. Here's a look at your race results. And again, Matt Gruenberg is your 2019 season champion. A tenth of a second that gap back to Justin Kolb. And Tate Lightle, I think he ran out of gas too. He finished 5th.
Yeah, damn.
Wow.
Yeah, and it kind of does make you wonder, you know, how it would have been if either one changed position. If Kolb was out in front, then he would have been pushing it too. He could have ran out of gas. So you never know with these things.
Wow,
that was really close.
I don't believe it. I thought this race was a foregone conclusion.
Yeah, actually, before we go to break, I really want to take a look at from the TV3 camera, just looking at Gruenberg coming at the line, because the front stretch cam didn't really do that justice how close that was.
Yeah. So here is the last lap here.
Yeah. Here's Gruenberg.
And we're gonna roll your results at the top of the screen. Here's Gruenberg coming back to the start-finish line, and we're gonna ride on board. I want to see if he's actually out of gas. But I mean, he definitely is way slow.
And
wow, too close for comfort.
That
sure.
could have been the championship right there. He's lucky the finish line wasn't 100 meters past that.
On board with the 54. Clutching.
Oh man.
Stumbling. He was totally out of gas.
Wow.
Wow. I had no idea that it was going to even be that close at all. And here is your margin of victory, not only for the race, but for the championship. A tenth of a second. And if the start-finish line was 100 feet more, it would have been the 52 of Justin Kolb. That is frustrating for Justin Kolb, but congratulations to Matt Gruenberg for winning the championship. Here's one last look at your race results. Your race analysis on the right. 14 lead changes, 133 laps, 125 of them green flag. Holy cow. We're going to jump to break. We're going to talk to your champion and others in just a moment. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back live to Sim TV. The season conclusion for the RaceKings Cup Series. Tate Lightle walked in, tied for the points lead, and Tate close but no cigar today. Out of fuel in the last lap in the 56. You're going to be second in points.
No, I think third.
Third actually in points after the conclusion of this race. Tate, walk us through that last run. Some fuel saving going on there in the battle with Justin Kolb.
Yeah, I didn't realize that I needed to start saving. I thought we were going to have to pit, so I didn't even cross my mind. I thought 38 laps was the max we could go, and we think we ran 40 there. So, but third kind of stings in the championship battle. I felt like we did everything we needed to do to earn a second place, or if not even the championship, but that's how these playoffs work. And with everything that happened last weekend, I mean, it's just kind of, it is what it is, I guess.
Looking back at the season as a whole, 4 wins, third in points. You got to be pretty happy with that as a whole. Looking at the next season, is there anything that you know you can improve for 2020?
I guess Homestead. I felt like every other track that I had a chance to practice on, I was first, second, if not maybe third behind the 15 and the 54, but I felt like I was only between the two of them. And I don't know, I thought I had something there for him here, and Matt was a 10th quicker a lap, so I don't know what I needed to do different. I was kind of arcing the corner a little bit more, and it looked like they were charging it, so I was like, all right, well, I thought maybe, but didn't pan out.
Tate Lightle, third in the championship, fifth in the race. A strong run tonight, most laps led, but not quite enough. Tate, thanks for talking. Congratulations on a strong season, and we'll see you back next year.
Thanks, guys.
Moving on back now to Justin Kolb with the number 52 car. Justin, an exercise in frustration that last run. Trying to close in. You were the quickest car those last 50 or so laps. Aero push, fuel saving, all sorts of drama. The battle with the 56. Just walk us through that run to the checkers.
Man, I tell you, I haven't been closer than that, and we haven't had a car better than that this season, and I'm glad it happened at the time we needed it to. Had a crew chief tonight, Trevin Roby. A huge thanks to him. Carlos, we had him spotting tonight. Really a big team effort. I couldn't have really gotten anywhere close if it wasn't for Trevin tonight. He kept us in the game. He kept us with the strategies, just pretty much a little bit of a step ahead of those guys. And if that would have went green the whole way, which I didn't expect it to, we might have had something. And then just it was a struggle once you got behind cars. Just the huge push you got. It's amazing how much of a difference it made. And once me and Tate got racing, first of all, I was surprised that Matt didn't get farther away than he did. But it's just kind of frustrating. If I could have got a little bit closer to Tate, maybe I could have gotten a little bit closer to Matt. But, you know, in the end, we saved as much fuel as we could. And if we didn't sputter off turn 4 with Matt there at the end, maybe this would be a different story. But overall, I mean, this whole season, when we got to the top 6, that was it. That was my goal. And anything after that was just kind of icing on the cake. And to be that close, my first season back, missing 2 years, it gets me really energetic and really excited for next season in a car that doesn't suck and is a whole lot better in terms of suiting to my driving style. So I don't know what else to say.
I guess, Justin, we want to wish you big congratulations. We're all rooting for you those last couple laps. Obviously, that aero push is frustrating for sure, but you still put on a really incredible season, a great run, much improved from the beginning of the season, Justin. So congratulations on behalf of SimTV for such a strong run, and hopefully see you back next season and go for the championship next year.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Absolutely. Matt Gruenberg, the season champion for the 2019 3WideRacing League RaceKings Cup Series, the second one of the weekend. And Matt, I can't say we didn't expect to see you here at the beginning of the season, but at times it looked like the 15 of Frankenfield would be the champion at the end of the season, but you fought back hard and just went out there and drove away from everybody. Just walk us through this race and the season as a whole, especially that final restart to the end.
Well, first of all, I am just so glad that my internet held up tonight and I did not get sent to the back. that played a key role in tonight. But yeah, we fought hard all night. It was just a battle on who could get to pit road first between me and Tate there for a while. I tried to get to the inside of him to keep him from pitting one of the times, but then he ended up getting by me and then coming to pit road anyway. But it was just so hard to pass. And the arrow push, you get behind someone. And I think Kolb experienced that as well when he was behind Tate. So when that last caution came out there and we were able to start first, knew that it was going to be close on fuel, for sure. I knew we were going to go about 39 laps at the max on fuel. But I just tried to get as much of a cushion as I could there. And then Tate and Justin ended up racing. I was able to pull away just a little bit more. And I actually thought Kyle Hanshaw was Kolb there at the end. And I ended up burning a little bit more fuel than I had to. I don't think I would have ran out in 4 had I known that was Hanshaw. I would have saved a little bit more and maybe ran out at the line instead. But just glad that we were able to get the win. That was really close. I really thought Kolb was going to get us there at the line, but just glad we could pull it off and get the championship. This one was a lot more, I guess, exciting to win than it was last night. It was a tight race and it was a close points battle. So
7 actually make it now 8 wins this season for the 54 Matt Gruenberg. A close finish, and I got to tell you, Matt, before you go back and watch it and wonder why we weren't freaking out at the end, is because we didn't even know you guys were going to run out of fuel. We thought that you guys could go a little longer than 40 laps, so we thought you were just slowing down to make it interesting. We didn't realize you were out of fuel until we looked back at the replay. But hey, I mean, what were you thinking coming out of turn 4? You see it stuttering, and you see that 52 coming. What goes through your head at that point?
I was just hoping that I would be in front of him and he would just drill me and push me across the line. But yeah, he was coming, and the finish line just couldn't get here quick enough. That's for sure. It felt like an eternity getting there. And I really thought Kolb was going to get us. But I came across the line, and I was just looking at the standings and said I got him by 0.1 and just started freaking out. And you should probably pull us into your broadcast channel whenever something like that happens. You can get a pretty good reaction. So maybe next time. But
all right, Matt. Hey, congratulations on your second championship of the weekend, sweeping both series for 2019, the 3WideRacing League. Congratulations, a very successful campaign in both. Thanks, Matt. We'll see you later.
Thank you. Just a quick shout out. Good race for Justin Kolb. It was a really good finish. Had fun battling him all year, and Tate as well. Had fun battling him all year, especially in tonight. And had fun battling Chad, although the race didn't go his way tonight. But I wish it would have went better, and he would have been up there to battle as well. But maybe next time.
Matt Gruenberg, 2019 champion. Matt, we'll see you later.
See you.
Chad Frankenfield, driver of the number 15 Ford Mustang. Chad, tonight had issues left and right, but I think this was kind of culminating in a playoffs that was filled with bad luck and mistakes. Just walk us through the last couple races, because this whole thing kind of fell apart after such a dominant early part of the season.
Yeah, it's just ran out of luck, I guess. Rockingham, we were running top 5, and it was a lapped car and kind of sent me into the grass. So we lost some spots there. And then Richmond, a whole issue happened at Richmond where we left points on the table. And then tonight I didn't even get a chance. I got ran over. So it's frustrating. I wish I would at least had a fair shot at it tonight. But all in all, a good season. Got a bunch of wins. I think we were finished second in wins for the season. So obviously a lot to build on.
Chad Frankenfield, a disappointing end, but a strong season. We'll come home, I believe, 4th in points after all that. Chad, thanks for talking. We'll talk to you later.
Yep, no problem.
All right, Vinny. Well, that was a little bit more dramatic than we probably sounded like. Matt Gruenberg and Tate Lightle running out of fuel in the final corners. Kolb just a 1/10 of a second short coming back to the checkers. I think, again, this season was extremely competitive all year long, but I think that this, perhaps more than most, showed us that these cars really are not very fun for the drivers to drive. So, I feel for Justin Kolb, because he really upset that whole thing there. He had a little bit more car underneath him, but Matt Gruenberg definitely deserved that. Class act all the time. Even after last week getting dumped out of the lead, was still very classy about it. Won 8 races this season, absolutely dominated, and really I don't think anyone else would have been better as champion this season.
Yeah, no, especially, consider 8 wins in 22 races, almost getting to half the wins this season. Dominant performance. It would be hard to say that he didn't earn this victory.
Absolutely. That's going to do it for us and for the 3WideRacing Cup Series season. 2020 is only a couple months away. We'll be back for the rest of the season next year. But we have some more stuff for 3Wide coming up soon. Some fun races to kind of let everybody chillax and get off the serious stuff for a few weeks. And I think that starts up in 2 or 3 weeks, I believe. With the 24th, November 24th, Daytona running the K&N cars, then it's the dirt street stock, and then back to K&N and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. Some fun stuff coming up for them. Tomorrow night, triple duty action for SimTV. The Elite Modified Tour heads to Stafford at 7:45 p.m. At 9 o'clock, Grid Life running a non-points race at Donington with the TCR car, right alongside the 9 o'clock p.m. showing of the Fuel Finals. The playoffs for Fuel begins tomorrow night at Indianapolis. Then Thursday, Montreal. It's the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve for the Fuel IndyCar Series. That will be at 9 o'clock as well. Thanks so much for watching. Congratulations to Matt Gruenberg, your 2019 3WideRacing League RaceKings Cup Series champion. That'll do it for us. We'll see you tomorrow.